back. Fit for Life is back. Good to see all of you. I hope you're in the mood to exercise. I imagine because you turned me on, you probably are. And hopefully I make you feel like you want to exercise. But that's why I like to give you little hints and let you know what we're doing and why we're doing. I won't spend much time on this because we only have half an hour. But I don't know about you, but I like to sit, especially in the evening, when we get carried away and we watch television and we don't want to get up, you're watching your Netflix. But sitting for really long periods a lot is not good for the body and the brain. The body reverts to something they call a lazy biology. It causes a decline in blood flow where? To the legs and the feet, which may contribute to a narrowing of the arteries or something called atherosclerosis. That's a tough one. The brain also is not productive when we're sitting for too long. It doesn't work as well. We get even more forgetful, and it's just hard to remember things. So keep that in mind. It's really important to take a break now and then. Sometimes we have to sit. So today we're going to do exercises you can do in a chair, because for people that cannot walk around too much or support their own weight, they can still do lots of exercises for both the upper and the lower body. So that's what I'm trying to get across today. Again, the brain is least productive when sitting. It makes it more difficult to pay attention. I don't know about you, but I start listening to someone and then we kind of glass over, and it's kind of embarrassing when we have to ask people to repeat things. Hopefully they'll understand. The brain uses 20% of the body's oxygen and glucose, and you must move to deliver that fuel to the brain. So I hope I gave you some good reasons to get up and get busy and exercise. And yes, take your little rests, a little nap if you need it. So are you ready? We're going to warm up first a little bit. So I'm going to come forward in the chair. And of course, we're going to stand up without holding on, right? Do the best you can on that one. If you cannot do that at all with your arms or pushing into your legs, you really need lower body strengthening. So keep that in mind. But for warm-ups, there are myriad things we can do. Let's start. Easy stuff. Arms up. Good. Reach and reach. Now bend your knees and bring those arms back. You can keep your head up. If it makes you dizzy, to drop it down. So we're going up. And you know, we do everything at least 8 times or 8 repetitions. This is 3 coming up. Bending those knees, right? Good. And 4. You can do it faster if you want. 5. How are your knees today? It's cloudy and rainy. You might be feeling a little bit of arthritis there. Back. Let's say this next one is 8. So why don't we push it a little and do 9? Good. And then for the last one, yes, we're going to do 10. We'll do it nice and easy. Good. All right. Another nice warm-up is just to let your arms hang down, feet apart a little bit, bend those knees, and watch out for the chair if you're standing to the side of your chair. It's better to move out just a little bit if you can, or move forward of the chair. And all you're going to do is just let those arms swing around and touch your body. So you'd be touching your kidneys here in the back, waking up all that stuff in our body that's been sleeping for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, unless you're waking up now and then like I am. Just tap the body a little bit. Good. So that's easy stuff also. And then just lift the knees up 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. What could be easier than this? 5. But you're moving, so it's important. Let's do 8 more, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I feel lighter already, just getting up, getting that blood flowing. 7 and 8. How about this one? Just point to the front. Looks like we're walking, but we're not going anywhere. That's easy. 6. So it's almost like a little aerobics, getting the muscles warmed up, the heart rate up maybe a little bit, because we're going to be seated for the rest of the class. Let's do a few more. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Now I'd like you to go side to side. Watch this. Touching in back. If you can cross it over, that's good. So it's side or just touch. Side and touch to the back. And 4 and 5 and 6. Nice and graceful. 7 and 8 again. And 1 and 2. Do you feel warmer? If you started out cold, you might. And 7 and 8. And now all you're going to do is just kick 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6. And if you need to slow it down, that's okay. Now we're going to kick to the back. Now, if you need to hold on, you can come to the side of the chair or behind the chair if you need to hold on with both hands. This one you don't see too much of. Almost everything we do, as I've said 1,000 times, is forward. So now we're going to go back a little bit. Watch that posture. And 1. I love the way this feels on the quadriceps. And 5 and 6 and 7. Isn't it fun? Doesn't it feel good? And it's easy to do. You can put on music. I find it's much easier to exercise to music. So we will be having music in some of our other classes. All right, so I think you're pretty much warmed up. But now why don't we do a stretch first before we sit down? Easy. Watch this. Make sure you're not out here. You're right next to that chair. You're going to cross one foot over. It doesn't matter which foot. And all you're going to do is drop down, down and down. Again, keeping the head up if you have to. The longer you stay there, the more stretch you're going to get. The body is pulling itself down. The weight of your upper body is pulling you down a little bit too. And now we'll come up, holding on. We have to hold for this one. Reaching up, pushing those hips forward a little bit, and we're going to do a little back bend. Now, pay attention to how your back feels when you do that. You'll know if it's too much. For most of you, it'll be very easy. Let's try one more, just dropping forward. Let that arm hang down, do whatever it wants to do. Good, touch your knee, your shin. If you can go down and touch your toe, fine, but don't force it. It's not worth it. Lifting the arm up, pushing the hips forward to protect the lower back. Yes. Wonderful. But now we have two sides. So you know what we have to do. Foot in front, drop down and down. And the longer you stay, you might feel yourself coming down just a little bit more. I like this kind of a stretch with the feet crossed. I think it feels better. It feels like we're doing something. Bring that arm up. If you want, you can reach up and then go back. Or you can reach up and pull the shoulder down. We get a longer neck when we do that. See? This isn't so attractive. This is better, don't you think? Good. All right, let's sit down. Grab your water. Maybe you need a little water break right now. I wore my bright springy colors because I got tired of winter. So I'm hoping they'll cheer you up. My necklace matches and everything. I love this color. So let's sit down without holding on if you can. Wonderful. So we're going to start with our easy chair exercise. These two could be a warm-up, now that I think about it. But you're just going to lift those legs up. So again, we are warming up, but we're not standing this time, we're seated. So we're going to point the toes, easy stuff, and then flex that foot back so the toes go back toward the body. Now sit away from the chair and do it. See the difference? You're improving your posture for one thing. Good. And it's going to stop you from caving in if you pull those shoulders down. So it's point and flex. Easy. You can put your arms here if you want, or there, whatever you want to do. We'll say 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. So that's easy enough. Let's put one foot down and circle the foot for ankle flexibility. Stepping on a step, up on a step, on a curb. A lot of falls happen there. So you want to make sure you're picking up that leg or that foot, picking it up as high as it needs so that you don't fall. So we're going to circle the other foot. Try to do 8 when you're doing it on your own. Again, we only have half an hour, and I try to jam a lot into that time, don't I? Wonderful. Now we are going to strengthen our legs. Again, even though we're not standing up. Straight out. You can flex that foot back. You can sit back if you want this time and bounce it. 1, feel it tighten here and strengthen. And it also strengthens your quadriceps. Let's do 8 more, and 9, 10, 11, and 12, and 13. You can feel it. I know you can feel it here. Let's try the other side. We have 2 legs. You're going to flex the foot and bounce it. 1 and 2. So we're working on the lower body and kind of the middle, your abdomen. 8 more, and 1, 2. So you really feel like you're doing something though, right? I'm sure you do. And 7 and 8. Now, when we do these knee lifts like this, they're easy. But sometimes if you're doing them when you're sitting too long, watching television or something, hold one up for as long as you can. And you can still watch television and talk and do all that other good stuff. Just hold it up as long as you can. If you had a weight, you could put the weight on your leg and hold it up. So mark these things down if you want to do them in the evening or at another time of the day. We'll put it down. Now we're just going to alternate 1, but we're going to do it kind of slowly. 2, good, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. Now, how many of you are driving? Still driving? Probably most of you. So let's do kind of a driving movement. You're going to just lift that knee up again and flex the foot. And you're going to push down as if you're pushing, well, this would, for me, it would be the brake. Just pushing down. 1 and 2. I know you can feel that here. You're also strengthening your lower back a little bit as well as your quadriceps. And 5 and 6. Good. And 7 and 8. Okay, take a little break. We'll bring the other leg up. Flex that foot and push the pedal down, the gas pedal. Let's hope we don't ever drive like this, right? And 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. Again, the slower you go, the more benefit that you'll get. So that's really important too. Okay, now I just want you to lift your leg up and cross it over, but don't let it stay there for a long time. Just kind of touch your leg and lift and put it down. The other side, lift and cross and up. Try it again, and up and over, up and down, up and over. Good. Up again. Let's do a few more. These aren't so easy, are they? Or if you can't do that, you can cross at the ankle. So everyone can do something, just about everyone. So even if you could move just a little bit, we hope that never happens, but you never know. All right, and then up and over. Good. All right, let's come forward. I'd like to do now some spinal stretches because we've been using the spine and the abdomen and the legs. So to stretch out your lower back, again, make sure you're kind of forward in the chair. Just drop those arms right down. Good. Grab your ankles. Keep your head up if you have to. You don't have to grab your ankles if you can't reach yet. You should be able to do that eventually. Good. So it's a great stretch for the lower back, the lumbar area. All right. And then we'll come back up. And that is spinal flexion. Take this hand, cross it over. We're going to do spinal rotation. This is a great stretch for almost all of the upper body. So let's take a breath with this. Breathing up. When you exhale, you're just going to pull yourself around. Good. Then resume your natural breathing. How does this feel? I always hear some crunchy things in there when I do this. So I'm hoping that means everything is going back in place. So just keep, that's it. All right, now take this hand, cross over to the outside of the knee, holding on. Think of kind of pushing in the knee a little bit. How does that feel? Oh, we love it. Wonderful. So the spine can flex, it can twist or rotate. The spine can extend. So what does that mean? Just this, arms up, grab that wrist and pull that right up. So we're getting a nice stretch, good. And then grab the other hand and pull up, great. Oh, how does that feel? Another good stretch for the upper body is clasping your hands, turning your hands over and going straight out. And spinal extension again. Very gently push back. This might not be terribly comfortable if you have arthritis in your hands or your shoulders or your neck, but just do what you can. Most people know what they can do, how far they can go. All right. Now the spine can also bend. And I know you know this because we've done it before. We'll take this hand and cross it over. The free hand comes up, 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 and we'll just bend. But don't do that. It's a nice straight for the sky, head for the sky. Good. Now I know you can feel that stretch all the way down, and that's going to make you feel better to get the kinks out. Might make you a little bit taller. Who knows? You never know. Cross over. We're going to reach up, up, up. You can take a breath up also when you do these stretches, when you remember it. So let's reach up, and as you bend, you would be breathing out. Oh, that feels wonderful. I think it does. It's just so nice. Wonderful. And then we'll bring that arm back. Try this. Grab those elbows, sitting nice and tall. Bring the arms down, and just pull over. Pull that arm right across. Wonderful. So now we're stretching again. Pulling across. I like the way this feels. So just make sure, though, that you don't turn the body, because it really wouldn't be a stretch, would it? So you're pulling against the body. Pulling across. You're sitting up straight. Pull those shoulders down. Let's breathe out as we pull to the other side. It's like that. Feels good. Let's do peekaboo. That's a good one. All right. And bring those arms down. Now, other exercises we can do seated is, well, the upper body, of course. That's what we've been working on mostly. So let's do just a little bit more by just doing the shoulder rolls. I don't think we do enough of these. So what does that mean? Your shoulders are down. You're going to push forward, lift up, go back if you can. That's the tough one. And then let them drop down. So it's forward, up. And if you do it continuously, it's called a shoulder roll. So it's forward and up and back and down. Do it again. Forward, up, back. Can you do one more? Yes, you can. Forward. So we're going to do a little for the posture now. And that has mostly to do with the upper body, not the whole upper body, but we're going to work on a little bit of posture. So we're going to do the letter Y. Let's take a breath first, up through the nose, and exhale out. Try it one more time, breathing up through the nose. When you exhale, I'd like you to bring those arms as far back as you can. It's not terribly comfortable. You're going to feel a little flattening in the back, a little discomfort in the shoulders, but we want to get that back as straight as we can. Wonderful. So we'll bring those hands together. And let's do the, looks like a yoga position. It's called prayer hands. We're going to reach up, reach for the sky, and then bring those arms down. See if you can bring the elbows together. That's a nice stretch for the upper back. And then bring them out again. I don't think this is terribly comfortable, but do what you can. Breathe out again and bring those elbows together. Good. Now the second letter we used the letter Y first. Now we're going to do the letter T, and this is easy enough, don't you think? You're going to breathe out, watch. and bring those arms back, which bring the shoulders together, open up the chest area, and prevent you from doing that. And I think anything we can do to prevent this is important, because this is what happens with aging, especially if your upper body muscles are weak. We tend to round over like this, and it's not good for us, and you don't want it to become a habit. Again, if you're sitting too much, you shouldn't. You shouldn't be sitting like this. So that's why we're concentrating so much on what you can actually do while you're seated. So we did the Y, we did the T, and now we're going to do the W. Bring the elbows down this time. So this is easy, right? Let's take a breath. When you exhale, bring those elbows back. Look up at the ceiling. You can if you want to. You don't have to. But I think it helps a little bit. All right, let's bring the palms together again. And this time we're going to do the same thing, bringing the elbows down and back. Breathe out as you do it. Good. And then just come back and relax. And just come forward, drop forward. I've got one foot in front and one in back, but if you don't, you can still do the same thing. Good. And then we'll come back up. All right. Now I want you to reach across and up, way up, and then come down. And let's reach across again and come down. And again. So I've shown you, hello, I've shown you a lot of exercises to do while you're seated. We did some warm up, but you know I like to include at least a little bit of balance in most of my classes. So let's come forward. Try to stand up without holding on. Get everything arranged here. Just relax, kick out a few times. Now I would like you to get behind your chair. I'm going to turn mine so you can see what I'm doing. Now, if I asked you to try to strengthen your foot and your ankle and your calf, which exercise would you do? Which really easy exercise would you do? Yes, you know, just the heel lift, that's all. And then hold on with just one arm. If you're trying to improve your balance a little bit, or if your balance is really poor, try not holding on when you do it at all. And if you can't, that's okay. At least you've started on that journey to better health, to more strength, to more flexibility, more aerobic capacity with your walking and dancing. Good. All right, you can put both hands back now. And you're just going to bend your knees. Watch those shoulders, pull them down, pull that chin in, not back, not up this way, just straight back. All right? And just lift your heels while your knees are bent. This is a good one. 1 and 2, whoops, and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Now, if you have a weaker leg, I mean, not terribly weak, but weaker than the other leg, and you want to strengthen it or balance your strength, do another set of 10 heel lifts on the weaker leg. Let's just try a few. It's more difficult because you're using just one leg, of course, but this is your weaker leg. So try to do another set of 8 or 10 and hold the other foot up, the stronger side. I'm giving you a lot today. And 6, and I know you're starting to feel that. The muscle contracts there. So let's shake that leg out, the one you were just standing on, and now put it in back. Point the toe, ball of the foot comes down, and then pull that heel down. Feel a nice stretch in that calf, all right? And I want you to push yourself up. Look at the difference. Isn't that something? You can breathe better. All right, but we should do both sides. So let's point, ball of the foot, heel comes down, and push yourself up and back. Pull the chin in. One arm out. Let's do some balance here again. Doesn't that feel good? I would think it would feel good. All right, and then we'll bring those hands back. Wonderful. Now you're going to face me. I'm going to turn my chair. Just come to the side of your chair. Most people will have some room over there. So let's just make a nice, good second position. This is ballet second position. And I use these little rules of thumb in most of my classes, and just do some nice, easy lunging. So that's easy. You're stretching, you're strengthening. Bring the arms up and down, arms up and down. This could be aerobic too, couldn't it? But to make this a balance exercise, which I like to do, I'd like you to stay over here on your mirror. This leg is straight, isn't it? Now, you notice I'm starting to go back, so I want to make sure that you're right here, nice and straight, not like this. Keep the back straight. You can still come forward in one piece. Can you lift the toes on this straight leg? Now let's bend both knees again. Lift the toes on the other side. See if you can balance there. Yes. All right, wonderful. Over to the other side. Lift those toes up. We're almost done. Keep the knees bent. Keep the toe up. Keep the knees bent. Wonderful. All right. Try this with me before we sit down quickly. We've just got less than a minute. Front, side, back, and close, and front, side, back. Why don't we end like this today? Front, like we're dancing, back. So 3 different directions. Front, side, back, and close. Front, side, back, and close again. 1, 2. Isn't this fun? And I'll see you next time. You've had a good workout. Now you can feel good about yourself. Go on with your day knowing you did something good for yourself. Terrific. Do this with me. Reach up, and 3, and this is how we're going to end today. 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. No, let's end like this. Just drop forward. Good. Swing those arms. Great, and we'll see you next time. You did a great job as usual, and I will see you on Fit for Life.